Okay, fine. So in the previous session, like I have discussed about your trainer details. Like a trainer name is Mr. Tirumalesh. You can call Tirumalesh or Tiru or sir. Why? Why? Because in the companies we are not going to call with the sir. We are going to call with the names only. Okay. So and also coming to the my experience, I have 8+ years of experience in the IT. 8+ years of experience on the IT, and also coming to the teaching experience, I have 6+ years of experience in the teaching. And also coming to the my role, i'm I'm working as a tech lead in the product based company. And also coming to the my tech stack nothing but what are the technologies I have used in my current project and previous projects. like a, I have worked some of the backend projects. Some of the backend projects I have worked, and the front end technologies also have I have worked. And like a databases. Okay, I have worked some of the databases, and also I have worked some AWS, Azure, GCP. From the cloud technologies, I have worked the AWS. And also like whenever attending the data structure as a whenever attending the freshers, whenever attending as a fresher or experienced person, data structures are very very important. I'm going to cover the data structures also here. So I have learned data structures, and also I have used data structure in my current project and previous projects. Why? Because whenever writing the code, like whenever write after writing the code, so are we writing good like a good standard or not? We need to check. Like a if like a for example, reverse of the number. After writing the reverse of the number, that reverse of the number, how much time it is taking, how much time it is taking, how much memory it is taking. We need to keep in our mind. So then only we can develop better kind of application. Whenever developing the application, how much memory is utilizing, and how much how much time it is taking, that that thing we need to keep in our mind. Okay, why? Because in the real time we are going to get the performance issue. Okay, for example, while loading the product data, it is taking 1 minute. If you take the 1 minute, like it is going to get the performance issue. That's why that issue we need to overcome. We need to avoid those issues. Okay, so that's why in that scenario we are going to use the data structures to improve the performance of the applications. Okay, and also, so what are the from the backend technologies, like these are the technologies I have learned in my current project and previous projects. And also coming to the backend technologies, what are the technologies available in the backend? Like a core Java available, Java 8, J2W, Spring Boot available, and also one more thing, microservices. Okay, microservices also very very important. Okay, so I will tell the kick of the microservices. If you know the about the microservices, you should know the monolithic application. Okay, so this is about the backend, like a backend details. Like a in the backend, like a core Java available, Java 8 available. 1 minute guys. Okay, as of now I have explained about the trainer details. Okay, so I have learned some of the backend technologies, some of the front end technologies, and also some databases, and some of the cloud technologies. Okay, so first, what are the backend technologies available in the as a Java? Whenever working as a Java developer, what are the backend technologies available? Okay, so like core Java available, core Java, basic concept of the Java, that is called as a core Java. And also we're having the Java 8. Okay, so previously like a whenever Java, like a before Java 8, whenever learning the Python, whenever using the Python peoples are challenging. Like a we will write the my code only one line. In one line we will write any kind of logic that challenging the Python people to the Java peoples. Whenever Java 8 came into the picture, the we in the Java 8, like a Java people's also challenging, we also writing the any kind of logic in single line. So like that they're challenging. So and also when I'm writing in the single line of the code, the performance also like it is improved. whenever writing any kind of logic in the Java 8. Okay, and also Java 8 is changed the lifestyle of the Java. Whenever attending the interview, they will concentrate more on the Java 8. If you know Java 8 also, you will get the job. That much important for the Java developer, this Java 8. Okay, and also we're having the J2W technologies. In the J2W technologies, so sometimes we are calling as a advanced Java. J2W stands for Java Enterprise Edition. Okay, if you want to develop the standalone application, we can use the core Java. By using core Java, we can develop the standalone applications. Okay, by using the core Java, we can develop the standalone application. What is standalone application here? See here, this is the Sublime Text available. This is the standalone application, and also Notepad++ available, Notepad available, Eclipse IDE available. So these are the different kinds of standalone application. If you want to develop the standalone application, we are going to use the just core Java is enough here. Okay, if you learn the core Java, we can develop the standalone application. What is the standalone application here? A application which is running in only one machine, that is called as a standalone application. If you want to utilize the standalone application, first we need to download and we need to install. Then only we can use the standalone application. Otherwise, we are not able to use the standalone application. Okay, so we are having the, if you open the calculator, so calculator directly we are not going to get the calculator. Okay, whenever purchasing the Windows machine, that shop people is going to download and install the calculator. Okay, so this is also called as a standalone application. Okay, if you want to develop the standalone application, core Java is enough. But if you want to develop the web application, in the market we are having the different kinds of web application, right? For example, when we are keeping the business, for every business we need some website, right? We need some website. For the Make My Trip application, for traveling purpose, they develop some website. For the Flipkart application, for selling the products and purchasing the products, they develop the Flipkart application. Spotify and Pinterest and like this we're having the, and Amazon, right? So multiple web applications available. So if you want to develop the web application, can we develop the web application by using the core Java? We are not able to develop. Okay, so that's why if you want to develop the web applications, then we can use the J2W. Okay, Java people introduce the J2W technology. Okay, J2W stands for Java Enterprise Edition. Okay, so by using J2W, we can develop the web applications as also. Okay, in the J2W, they given 3 different of APIs. Okay, 3 different APIs they provided. Okay, actually this Java is developed by Sun Microsystem. That Sun Microsystem, they given J2W also. Okay, but in the J2W we are having the different technologies like JDBC technologies available, JSP and servlets. Okay, so by using these technologies we can develop the web applications. Okay, and also we are having the Spring is a older version. Now currently we are using Spring Boot. Okay, so okay, first we are having the programming language. Java is a programming language, and J2W is the technology. This is the programming language, this is the technologies, this is the frameworks. Okay, so if you use the technology, like whenever writing the code, we need to write multiple lines of the code. Simply, currently if you tell in the coding part, you are going to get the confused. Like this technology is like whenever preparing the biryani or whenever preparing any curries, what we need to hear, we need to go to the market, right? We need to go to the market, we need to purchase the vegetables. Okay, we need to do everything manually whenever preparing the biryani. Okay, so if you use the Spring, like a J2W is like that, we need to do everything manually. Okay, but if you use a Spring Boot, like we're having the like a online shopping, right? Like we're having the Zomato, Swiggy, just we are going to order the food, we can eat the food. Like that we're having the Spring Boot. Okay, so if you use the J2W technologies, we are going to write the lot of code, duplicate code or boilerplate code we are going to write. If you use the Spring Boot, so whenever writing the 10 lines of the code in the Spring Boot, we can write in the single line. Okay, so that's why if you go to the company, every project, every company using the Spring Boot nowadays. Okay, so without Spring Boot, you are not going to get the job. That much important. You can go like you can check who are working in the who are working in the companies. You can check with the company peoples, your friends or your senior members available, right? You can check with your seniors. Okay, so that's why Spring Boot is very important. And also whenever attending the interview, they will concentrate more on the core Java, Java 8, and Spring Boot and microservices. And also we're having the J2W, right? So we're having the J2W technology. Even one question also not going to ask from the J2W technology. If you learn the J2W, like a 1 year also we can learn, but no one asks the J2W technology. Our time will be wasted. That's why, like a whenever using the Spring Boot, internally this Spring Boot uses the J2W technology. Okay, internally this Spring Boot uses the J2W technologies. That's why what I'm going to teach here, like how much content is required for the Spring Boot, that content is going to teach in the J2W technology. Like I'm going to teach the JDBC technologies and JSP and servlets. Not going to teach fully how much content is required whenever developing projects, whenever attending the interview. That much content only I'm going to deliver. Okay, and also we're having the front end technologies. Like if you want to develop the user interface of the application. Okay, for every website there is having the user interface, right? So here only like we're having the online sites like a Flipkart available. This is the user interface for the Flipkart. Okay, so if you want to develop the user interface of the application, we are going to use the UI technologies or front end technologies. We can call as UI technologies or front end technologies. Like we can use the HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, or React and Angular. By using these technologies, we can easily develop the front end layer of the application. Okay, so first I will draw some architecture, then you can understand how the architecture is available, how the application is development happening in the real time. Okay, first we are having the front end layer. Okay, front end layer, and also we are having the back end layer, and also we are having the database. Okay, we are having the database. Okay, front end layer available, back end layer available, and also database available. Okay, so this is the front end layer. Okay, first part is the front end layer. Okay, and back end layer is available. Okay, for front end layer available, back end layer available, and also we're having the database for storing the data permanently. Okay, so like this we're having the front end layer, back end layer, and database. Okay, so this is the full stack application. Okay, in the back end layer, what are the technology we are going to use, guys? Just now we have discussed. If you want to develop the back end layer of the application, we are going to use the core Java, Java 8, J2W, Spring and Spring Boot, or microservices. Okay, these are the technologies we are going to use for the back end layer development. Okay, these technologies we are using in the back end layer. And also if you want to develop the front end layer of the application, how we are having the user interface, like how we are having the user interface for the Flipkart or Amazon. Okay, Amazon. Okay, this is the user interface for the Amazon. For the Make My Trip, this is the user interface for the Make My Trip. Okay, if you want to develop the user interface of the application, front end application, we are going to use the UI technologies. Like what are the technologies we are having here? HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, React, Angular. So these are the technologies they are using. And HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript are the basic technologies. Okay, basic technologies. And also React and Angular are the advanced technologies. Currently, for the front end layer development purpose, they are using either React or Angular. Okay, React or Angular. If you check any project in the company, you can ask your senior member which front-end technologies you are using for the front-end layer development, which back-end technologies you are in your project using the which back-end technologies in your project using. You can ask, like they will ask Spring Boot, they will ask, like they will tell React and Angular for the front-end layer. For the back-end development purpose, they will tell Spring Boot and microservices. Okay, so very like a more important for the, like whenever attending the interview, whenever working with the projects, these are the important technologies. And also HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript are the basic technologies. Like whenever constructing the building, how we are having the pillars, right? If the pillars is strong, then only the building available long days. Otherwise, our building will be collapse, right? So that's why if you learn these basic technologies, then only you can you can develop easily React and Angular. Okay, so if you learn these technologies, then only you can learn these technologies. Okay, so that's why first we need to concentrate the basic technologies. If you are perfect in the basic technologies, then you can use the React and Angular. Okay, so and also whenever attending, like whenever go to the company, we are going to work on the React and Angular. If you want to learn the React and Angular, we need to learn these technologies. Okay, and coming to the databases, like why databases came into the picture, why we are using the databases. Can we use the files, can we use the books, right? We are having the books, we are having the files for storing the data. Okay, and also we are having the books and papers for storing the data. Why database came into the picture? Why? Because if you store the book, for example, I have a company, in the company, so every day some employees are coming and are going, they are doing some attendance. Whenever doing the attendance, they're they're doing the attendance in the book. If you do the attendance in the book, the books is not available long days, right? For example, if I forgot the books, that data will be lost. Okay, so that's why the storing the data permanently, books are not recommended. Okay, so that's why files came into the picture. Okay, files came into the picture. If you store the file in the files also, we can store the duplicate data, right? And files also, it is not secure. Why? Because if I give this laptop to the others will be delete these files, or they will modify the content, they will add some duplicate content like this. Already this data available, they will add 2 times also. Okay, we can store the duplicate data, and these files are not secure. Why? Because other person can delete the data, other person can see the data also. So that's why the storing the data in the files is not recommended. That's why databases came into the picture. Okay, for storing the data permanently. If we store the data in the databases, our data will be secure. Okay, our data will be secure. Why? Because for the databases, username and password available. Okay, others are not able to touch our data. So that's why we can use the databases. And also whenever storing the data into the database, we are not able to store the duplicate data. We can store only unique key data. Okay, so whenever storing the duplicate data, it is not going to allow. Already the table is available, you are using that table, you can use different table. Okay, already that data available, you are not able to store the data like that. So that's why databases came into the picture. For the database development purpose, we can use the MySQL database, Oracle database, MongoDB, and PGSQL, PostgreSQL. Okay, so for the front-end technologies, if you want to develop the front-end layer, we are going to use the front-end technologies. So these are the front-end technologies. Okay, these are the front-end technologies available, front-end layer available, back-end layer available, and database available. So we can use the any database here. So these are the databases. Okay, so like this, we are having the full stack application. Okay, whenever developing the application, first we need to develop the backend layer. Okay, whenever developing the any kind of project, first we need to develop the backend layer. Once backend layer is completed, we are going to get the data from the database to the backend. From the backend, we will provide the data to the front-end developers. Okay, so we are having the backend developers and front-end developer. If you are working as a backend developer, we are getting the data from the database. after getting the data from the database. So that data we are going to provide to the front end people. That front end people is going to display on the front end side. Then we are the customers, we can see that data. Okay, so like this we're having the front, like a full stack Java application. For example, if I take one, like I'm going to take some website. Okay, so first we are having the customers, guys. So where the customers available? Here the persons available. Otherwise, here we are the users. Whenever having the requirement, then we are going to do the we are going to purchase the products in the Flipkart application, right? So here the one person is going to interact with the front end layer. Okay, we are the customers. I am taking one customer. This customer is going to interact with the front end layer. Okay, so this front end layer is going to interact with the back end layer. See here how it is going to interact. We will see. Okay, for example, I'm purchasing the Realme bots. Okay, like a, yeah, I'm going to purchase the bot. Wait 1 minute, guys. Yeah, see here, I'm going to purchase the watch. Okay, whenever I click the watch, okay, first we are having the website, right? Flipkart page available. Okay, first we are having the Flipkart page. This is the page. I'm a customer. Okay, I'm a customer for the Flipkart application. I'm going to purchase the product. We can purchase any kind of product. Okay, so I'm a customer here. Okay, I'm a customer. The front end layer is available here. Okay, this is the front end layer. Okay, by using these technologies, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, React, and Angular, we are develop the front end layer of the application. Okay, after developing the front end layer of the application, I'm a customer. Okay, or the is a customer. Okay, he is a customer. He's going to do the shopping. Okay, so after that, what he is doing here? Like he's sending the request. Okay, so request nothing but input, guys. We know about the input, right? So in the programming terminology, we are going to call as a request. I'm sending the request. Okay, I'm clicking like this. Okay, the request will go to the initially whenever click like that. Okay, whenever click the watch, the request will go to the front end layer. From the front end layer, it will go to the back end layer. From the back end layer, it will go to the database. From the database, it will fetch the data. It will get the data. Okay, after that, it will send to the back end layer. Okay, from the back end layer, it will send to the front end layer. In the front end layer, we can see the data. Okay, about the watch details. You can see the entire details about the watch. Okay, previously just it is available. Yeah, previously it is available like a just a watch name, like it is available fast track and some cost available. So if you want to if you want to get the more details, we need to click the product. If you click the products, we are going to get the entire details. It will load the data, it will fetch the data, all the how much cost is available, everything it is going to get the from the database only. Okay, how it is going, guys? How it is going to fetch the data? Like first it will go to the here. Yeah, so when we click the watch, the request, okay, so simply input for understanding purpose, we can call as a input or we can call as a request. Okay, we are sending the input. After sending the input, the request will go to the backend layer. and also from the backend layer, the request will go to the database. Okay, from the database we are getting the response. In the programming terminology, we are calling as a response. Response nothing but a output. Okay, response nothing but a output. You can call as a response. Okay, so entire description about the products we are getting. Okay, when we click the watch, entire description about the watch we are getting. Okay, so this is the output. Here from the database we are getting the response to the backend layer. From the backend layer we are getting the response to the front end layer. In the front end layer we can see the details about the watch. Okay, so this is the details we are seeing the when we click the watch. Okay, like this we are getting the response. Okay, tomorrow I will show my website, guys. I will I have developed all the for my institute development purpose. My institute purpose I have developed the real-time projects, and also I have deployed into the live environment. Our application is also running in the live. Okay, if you search toptirutech.in, so our website will be available here. Okay, so all the data available, so we can purchase the we can purchase the courses, and we can do the payment. Everything we can do here. Okay, uh, 6 months back I have developed this one. 6 months back. Okay, we can log into the application, we can sign up the application, we can watch our videos, everything we can do here. Okay, so okay, so like this we are having the full stack application. Okay, we are getting the responses. This is the response we are getting. Okay, I'm a customer, I can watch here, I can see the details about the products. Like this we're having the in the real-time projects we're having the request and response format. We're sending some request, it will go to the backend layer. From the front end layer it will go to the database, getting the data, and it is showing the backend layer. Okay, from the backend layer it will go to the front end layer. From the front end layer, I'm a customer, I can see the details. Okay, like this we're having the full stack application. Okay, so as of now we are using the Java, right? Okay, as of now we are using the Java. Not only Java, if we can use the Python, where we can I'm going to take the details like this. Okay, currently we are using the Java, right? We can use for the backend layer purpose. If you want to develop the backend layer, we are using the Java. Okay, instead of Java, we can use the Python also. Okay, for the backend layer development purpose, we are using the Java currently. Why? Because we are learning the Java. So that's why if you want to develop the backend layer, we can use the Java, or we can use the Python, or we can use the PHP, or we can use the .NET, or we can use the Node. Okay, so what are the technology, what are the backend technologies available, what are the programming languages available? Those programming languages we can use in the backend layer. Okay, like this we can use. For the front end layer development also, for purpose also, we can use any one technology. Currently for the front end layer development purpose, we are using React and Angular. Okay, so like this we're having, and also we're having, we can use any one database here. Okay, so if you go to the company, so there is having the multiple projects, right? Some persons they will develop the React is a front end layer. Okay, they will develop the front end layer is React. So some projects, whenever working as a backend layer, I'm working as a Java developer, right? So that's why I'm going to use the Java. For example, some person will available, they will develop the front end layer is the React. First we are develop the Java is a backend, and we will use any one database, guys. No need to use all the databases. We can use any one database. Okay, front end layer development purpose we can use React. For the back end layer purpose, Java. For the database development purpose, we can use MySQL database. Any one database, any one backend technologies, any one front end technology. Okay, so for example, I'm working as a Python. I will I will develop the front end as a React and backend as a Python, and I will use any one database. I will use the PGSQL, PostgreSQL. Okay, and for example, I'm working as a PHP developer. I will work as a, we can use the React or Angular, anyone we can use. For example, I'm using, for the front end layer development purpose, I'm using the Angular. For the back end layer development purpose, I'm using the Node.js. Okay, Node.js. For the database development purpose, I will use the Oracle. Okay, any one technologies we can use. No need to use the all the technologies. Okay, but why we are using these many technologies? These are the Java basic technologies. Okay, in the Java only multiple technologies available. In the Python also multiple technologies available. Okay, in the PHP also multiple technologies available. So like this, if you go to the company, you can check what is the technologies they are using for the front end layer purpose. What is the technologies they are using the back end layer development purpose. What is the technology they are using? What are the databases they're using for the databases. Okay, so some of the projects they're going to use the multiple databases also. Okay, some projects they will use only one database. Okay, so some person some projects available, some projects they will use the two databases also, or three databases also, or four databases. Any number of databases they will use based on the project requirement. Okay, so like this we're having the full stack Java application, full stack application. Not only Java, we can use any backend technology. It's called as a full stack application. Okay, any doubts as of now, guys? Any doubts? And also why we are learning the Java, guys? Yeah, you can ask me online student. Any doubts?
Once repeat. This for front end, back end, and database.
Okay, fine. Yeah, see here, first we are having the some of the databases: MySQL database, Oracle database, MongoDB, PGSQL. Not only these databases, multiple databases available, but I'm taking four databases. Okay, this is the database layer, and also we're having the backend layer available, front end layer. Okay, okay, so currently I'm working as a Java developer, so and also we are learning the Java, right? That's why we are concentrating more on the Java, but not only Java. If you are working another technologies also, why? Because if you go to the company, sometimes they will use they will give the Python projects also, they will give the PHP projects also. So we need to work any technology. Okay, so I don't know about the Python. I'm not able to work like that. You don't tell like that. Okay, so if you learn any one technology, you can learn easily another technologies also. Both are same, just the rules only different here. Okay, that's why you need to learn perfectly one technology, one language, then you can easily learn the another language. Okay, don't after learning perfectly any one technology, any one language, then only you can go to the another programming language. Otherwise you are going to get confused. Okay, if you are getting the perfection in the Java, then only you can go to the Python. Otherwise you are going to confuse both. Okay, where we are going to use which things, you are going to confuse. Okay, here what I'm telling, for the front end layer development, this is the front end layer, right? This is the front end layer, this is the back end layer. Okay, front end layer, back end layer, database. Okay, so for the front end layer development purpose, we can use the React, only one technologies. No need to use the React and Angular. For the back end layer development purpose, we can use the PHP. No need to use the all the programming languages. Back end layer. For the database development purpose also, we can use any one like this. Okay, otherwise you can use React as a front end. Okay, Java as a back end, and database as a MySQL. You can use like this. Otherwise you can use a front end for the front end layer development, React as a front end layer development, React technology as a front end layer, Node.js as a back end layer development, and MongoDB for the database for storing the data permanently. Okay, like this, no need to use only technology, you can use any one technology. Okay, so like this, currently in the market we are using the project development. Okay, so why we are learning the Java? Okay, why here learning the Java? What is Java? What is the use of Java? We will see now. Okay, currently we are learning the Java. Why we are going to learn the Java? Okay, okay, before going to the Java, first of all, what is programming language? Okay, Java is a programming language, guys. Before going to the programming language, we know about the we should know about the human language. Okay, why? Because everyone know about the human language. Okay, for example, I'm a person, I want to speak with you. Okay, I'm a person, I want to speak with you. We need some mediator, right? Okay, for example, I'm a person, I want to speak with him. Okay, so if we are having the mediator, then only we can speak, otherwise we are not able to speak, right? We need some mediator, otherwise we are not able to speak. Okay, I'm taking here, I'm a person, I want to speak the other person. Okay, for example, he's a Ramu. Okay, Ramu is available and Raji is available. Ramu available, Raju is available. Both are persons only. Okay, he want to speak with each other. Okay, Ramu want to speak with the Raju. Raju also want to speak with the Ramu. Okay, like Ramu is still like a, we need some mediator, right? We need some language. We need some language. Without language, we are not able to speak each other, right? So that's why human languages came into the picture. Okay, without human languages, we are not able to speak with the each other, right? I'm not able to speak with you, right? So that's why human languages came into the picture. Like a one person want to communicate with the another person, that's why human languages came into the picture. Okay, we're having the multiple human languages, like a okay, we're having the multiple human languages for the person to person communication. Okay, one person is available, that person want to communicate with another person, that's why human languages came into the picture. Like we know about the English, Telugu, Hindi, okay, Urdu, Kannada. So like this, we're having the multiple human languages. I'm a person, I want to speak with the Raju. Ramu is a person, Ramu want to speak with the Raju. Both are person. Without mediator, how we can speak? We are not able to speak, right? So that's why this human languages came into the picture. Okay, so one person want to speak like a hi Raju. Okay, he's telling like a, he's telling like a hi Raju. Okay, he is using English language, right? Hi Raju. Okay, Ramu is telling hi Raju. So Raju, how he is going to interact? How he is going to interact? Hello Ramu, right? So if you want to interact like this, we need a mediators. Like we are having the English program, English human language. Hello Ramu. Okay, so one person is like two persons available. One person is Ramu, another person is Raju. One person want to communicate with the Raju. We need some mediators. Like we are having the human language as a mediator, right? Without this mediator, we are not able to speak. Okay, if you want to speak in the Telugu, we need a Telugu as a mediator. If you want to speak in the Hindi, Hindi as a mediator. If you want to speak in the Kannada, we need a Kannada mediator, like that. Okay, similarly, I'm a person, I'm a person, I want to speak with the computer. Okay, I'm a person. I want to speak with the computer. Okay, computer is a machine. Machine can understand the human languages. Is it understand? Not able to understand, right? So that's why we are not able to speak the. If I tell like a high computer, computer not able to understand. Okay, for example, I'm a Ramu. I'm a Ramu. This is the computer or machine. Okay, computer or machine. Okay, I'm a person. I want to speak with the machine or computer. So if you use the human languages, we are not able to speak with the language. So computers can understand the binary language, zeros and ones only. It will be understand, right? So it will understand the zeros and ones. It will understand the zeros and ones. Computers can understand zeros and ones. Okay, so that's why if you want to talk with the computers, if you want to communicate with the computers or machines, programming languages came into the picture. Okay, so I'm a person. I want to communicate with the machines. If you want to communicate with the machines, the programming languages came into the picture. Okay, we're having the different kinds of programming language. So currently we are learning the Java. Our Java is also one programming language. Our Java also one programming language. Okay, by using Java, I'm a person. I can easily communicate with the computer. Okay, our Java is also one programming language. By using Java, I can easily communicate with the computer. Okay, so and also not only Java, we can use Python, we can use PHP, we can use .NET. Okay, so we can use Node. So like this, multiple programming languages are available in the market. Okay, so currently we are learning the Java. By using Java also, I am a person. I will easily communicate with the computer. Okay, so but when I'm writing the Java code, it is available in the our readability format. But internally, there is having some compilers, some interpreters available. That compilers and interpreters is going to convert into the binary format, computer understandable format. Okay, so like this. So that's why we are letting the Java here for the communication of the computer. For the directly we are not able to communicate. We need some mediator. So that's why programming languages came into the picture. Okay, why we are communicating with the machine? What is the use of after communication? After communication is completed, we can develop different kinds of applications. Okay, after communicating with the computers or machines, we can develop the different kinds of applications. Okay, for the application development purpose only, we are communicating with the machines. Okay, what type of application we can develop after communicating? After communicating with the machines, we can develop the different kinds of applications. Okay, we can develop the standalone applications. Okay, we can develop the standalone application. We can develop the web applications. Okay, we can develop the distributed applications. Okay, we can develop the web applications. We can develop the standalone applications. We can develop the standalone applications, and also we can develop the mobile application. Okay, we can develop any kind of application after communicating with the machines. Okay, first of all, what is standalone application here? The application which is running in only one machine, that is called as a standalone application. If you want to use the standalone application, first of all we need to download, we need to install, then only we can use. Okay, who are downloaded, who are installed, that person only can use the standalone application. So the examples of the standalone application: Notepad. If you download, if you install, then only you can use. Calculator. Okay, calculator. And IDEs like IntelliJ IDE, Eclipse IDE. Okay, IDEs. Okay, and also we're having the Sublime Text or Notepad++. Like this, we're having the multiple standalone application. Okay, standalone application nothing but a desktop application, guys. We can call as a desktop applications. Why we are using in the desktop, right? So that's why we are called as a desktop applications. Okay, if you want to develop the like a after communication is completed, we can develop the standalone application. What is the meaning of standalone application, guys? A application which is running in one machine. Application which is running in the one machine. And also if we want utilize, if we want to utilize the standalone application SP nothing but a standalone application, first we need to download and install, then only we can use the standalone application. Okay, I will give the notes, okay, clearly. So first you need to understand what is the standalone application here. Okay, and also web applications available. What is a web application here? A application which is running in the web, that is called as a web application. Okay, see here we're having the website here. So this is the one web application, this is also one web application. Okay, a application which is running in the web, that is called as a web application. And also if you want to access the web application, internet is mandatory. Without internet we are not able to access the web applications. Okay, so this is about the web application. And also we're having the distributed application. Okay, currently we're having the lot of demand for the distributed applications. Okay, lot of demand available for the distributed application. First of all, what is the distributed application here? What is the use of distributed application? Okay, see a application which is communicating with the another application, that is called as a distributed application. Okay, we can call as a microservice also, and also we can call as a distributed application. Okay, for example, okay, I have applied the passport. Okay, I have applied for the passport. When we apply for the passport, so for the verification purpose, okay, we have like a I have applied for the passport. This passport application is going to communicate internally Aadhaar card application. Okay, so we're having the passport application and Aadhaar card application. Whenever apply the passport for the verification purpose, this person is belongs to India or other country. For the verification purpose, our passport application is communicate with the Aadhaar card application for the verification purpose. Okay, so like this, if one application will communicate with the another application, that is called as a distributed applications. For example, simply whenever doing the PhonePe payment, okay, PhonePe application available. Okay, PhonePe application available. Whenever doing the PhonePe, so internally it will communicate with the banking application, right? For example, I have linked the SBI application. Okay, when we do the payment, so our PhonePe application is going to communicate with the SBI bank. Okay, like this, if one application is communicating with the another application, that is called as a distributed applications. Okay, so like this, and also if we check, we are having the IRCTC, right? We are having the IRCTC, Indian Railways, right? For the booking of the trains. Okay, we are having the IRCTC. This is the government application. Okay, IRCTC is the government portal application. Okay, and also we are having the Make My Trip. Okay, MMT available, Make My Trip. Okay, this is the private application. Okay, this is the government application, this is the private application. Okay, so internally, like this government application already they will develop the railway booking system. Okay, they're having the train details, they're having the train details, and stop details. Every stop there is having the names, right? Every stop having the names, and also there is having the all the details about the booking system in the IRCTC. So that's why, so this make my trip peoples, they are going to reach the existing logic. Already all the logic, all the code is available in the make IRCTC application. For example, if make my trip people is going to redevelop the code, already there is having the code. If you develop the code, it will take lot of time, right? It will take lot of time, like a 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. It will take 10 years also if you want to develop the IRCTC application. Okay, so if you develop the, if you redevelop the code, if you redevelop the IRCTC application again for the booking purpose, so our time will be wasted. We need to invest a lot of the money. We need to hire the multiple employees, right? So our time will be wasted. That's why every company, what they are doing, they are reusing the existing logic. Already the logic is available in the IRCTC. They are going to reuse in the make my trip application. They are not going to redevelop the logic. They are going to reuse the logic. Why we are not going to redevelop the logic? Why? Because already that is outdated logic. Already the logic is available in other application. So that's why if you use same logic, our application is not going to develop more, right? Already the logic is available. So that's why every company, if the logic is available, then that logic is going to reuse, not going to redevelop. Okay, so like this we're having the one. If simply you need to remember as of now, distributed application, nothing but if one application will communicate with another application, that is called as a distributed application. Okay, by using our Java, after communication is completed, we can develop the distributed applications. Okay, so and also we are having the mobile applications. So we know about the mobile application, right? Android application. Okay, by using Java, we can develop the mobile applications also. The application which is running in the mobile. Okay, application which is running in the mobile, that is called as a mobile applications. Okay, we're having the Facebook, WhatsApp. Okay, and also we can take any apps. Okay, Insta. Okay, like this we can take any different kinds of app. Okay, application which is running in the mobile, that is called as a mobile application. Okay, so like this, so why we are learning the Java here? What is the use of Java? Our Java is a programming language. Okay, programming language. For the machine communication purpose, we are using the Java. Okay, so not only Java, we can use any programming language. We can use the Python, we can use the Java, we can use the PHP, .NET and Node.js. We can use any programming language. Okay, so after using any one programming language, we can easily communicate with the machines. We can easily develop the different kinds of applications. Okay, so this is about the, that's why we are learning the our programming language Java. Okay, so why we are learning the Java? For the application development, right? Okay, any doubts guys? First online students, any doubts?
No.
Any doubts online students? Varun, Damodar, Vengaya?
No, to do.
Okay, able to understand, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Then fine, guys. The next demo available tomorrow. You can join tomorrow. Thank you for joining. We'll see tomorrow. With this, I'm closing the session. Thank you.